First, this is a DTU. Let's open this cover. After opening it, there are 4 connection terminals. This is the power supply 485A485B. This is the red dip switch, which is used to control the Modbus ID. Next, we will introduce the gateway. This is the LoRa antenna. This is the 4G antenna. This is the interface for the SIM card. In addition to 4G, an Ethernet cable can also be connected. This is the power supply port, and the gateway's 485 interface. We are going to connect the wires now. This relatively long wire is the LoRa antenna. The shorter and longer wires are the 4G antenna. In addition, a power cord is also provided. The power cord is connected in this way. Red is for power supply, and black is for ground. First, connect the power supply. Next, let's connect the LoRa antenna. Then connect the 4G antenna. This is what it looks like after everything is connected as a whole. Now, let's talk about the wiring of the sensor. The sensor is directly connected to the DTU. However, since the DTU has only one RS485 interface, a deconcentrator is required to split it into multiple connections. Then, the blue wire is the 485A. Connect all the 485A together. The white wire is 485B. Connect all the 485B together. The black wire is GND. The red wire is 12 volts or 24 volts. Connect the black wires together. Finally, connect the red wires together. The connection of the sensors is completed. Now we need to connect the DTU and the sensors together. I'll use this wire for the demonstration. Connect the corresponding red wires and black wires together. The blue wire is for 485A. We'll use the green wire as a substitute for the white wire, which is 485B for now. I made a terminal at the other end of the white wire, from which 5 wires emerged, and then I extended them. As long as you connect the power supply and the 485 interface to the DTU, it will be okay. The leftmost one is red, which is 12 volts. The second one is black, which is the ground. The third one is 485A, which is blue. The fourth one is 485B, which is green. Check if the cable is loose. We will connect the external power supply and the external 485 to these 4 wires. Then, we connect the 485. This is 485A. This is 485B. The wiring connection between the sensor and the DTU is now completed. If you need to connect more sensors, you will either need a larger wire splitter or connect the wires of all the sensors together. The function of the splitter is to connect all the power supplies together, all the 485A wires together, and all the 485B wires together. The previous video, we have already connected all these things. First, this time we'll connect the power to the gateway. Plug the power cord into the power strip. Now the gateway is powered on. This is the power supply for the sensor and DTU. The black one is the negative pole of the power supply. The red one is the positive pole of the power supply. The power supply provides a voltage of 12 to 24 volts. If the light is on, it indicates that the power supply is normal. Then, this is the 485 connection between the DTU and the sensor. Plug it into the USB port of the computer. We insert the network cable into the Ethernet port of the LoRa gateway. If the light is on, it means the wiring is correct. All connections have been completed. Gateway settings. First, the LoRa gateway and the computer need to be connected to the same gateway. We need to check the IP address of the computer's gateway. Open the computer's run window. Type CMD, and a dialog box will pop up. Type ipconfig and press the Enter key. The address of the default gateway is the IP address of the computer's gateway. Record it. We need to connect both the LoRa gateway and the computer to the gateway with the IP 192.168.10.1. Next, we need to make the computer access this gateway. Since the factory default IP address of our gateway is set to 192.168.8.8.1, we need to make some changes. First, click Change Adapter Settings. Click on the network connection. Then select the network we are connected to and click Properties. We need to modify the Internet Protocol version 4, TCP, IPv4. Double-click Internet Protocol version 4, TCP, IPv4, to bring up the settings interface. Then, select Use the following IP address. Enter the gateway address we want to access, which is the LoRa gateway address. First, Enter the IP address 192.168.88.100. Enter the default gateway 192.168.88.1. Enter the preferred DNS server 114.114.114.114. That's it. Click OK, and then click OK again. Now, your computer will not be able to access the internet, but it can access the gateway. Open a browser. Enter the gateway address 192.168.88.1 and press Enter. Enter the default admin password, e.g. 123456778, then click Login. We will now enter the gateway settings page. The gateway settings page displays the device serial number. We need to enable remote management. Click WAN LAN. In the network port settings, we need to change the gateway to the default gateway 192.168.10.1 to enable the LoRa gateway to access the Internet. Change the IP address to 192.168.10.52, a device under the default gateway. Click Save. It is important to remember this IP address, as we will access the gateway through it later. Click Save. After saving, a restart is required for the settings to take effect. Click Restart. Now, we can restore the network to normal. Click on our connected network, select Properties, and set Internet Protocol version 4, TCP, IPv4, back to obtain an IP address automatically. The network will now return to normal. Next, since the IP address in the network port configuration has been modified, we need to open a new web page to access it. Re-enter the default admin password e.g. 123456778 to log in. Now, we can see that the gateway is currently connected to the Internet. The settings for the LoRa gateway and the computer gateway have now been completed. First, click on this upper computer software for IoT. A registration is required. You can switch between Chinese and English here. For overseas registration, you can use an email address. During registration, enter your email, password, and verification code in sequence. Then click Confirm to complete the registration successfully. I'll log in with an existing account to give the explanation. After logging in, click Add. You need to enter the device's SN serial number. The SN serial number comes from the device SN number in the System Information of Gateway Setup Video 1. Open the browser. Enter the gateway address 192.168.88.52 and press Enter. Input the default admin password, e.g. 123456788. Copy the device's SN serial number and fill it in. Enter the device password, default, e.g. 12356. Name the device. Group the device. We'll assign it to the default group for now. Online devices will show a green dot. Added devices can be edited remotely. Remote programming is particularly important. Open remote programming, log in with the default password, and you'll see the running code. Click on the corresponding program to configure it. A web page will pop up. Enter the default password, e.g. 123456788. You can modify its settings through this web page anywhere. Let's take a brief look. We have already modified the settings, so we won't demonstrate it here. This is called remote programming. Clicking on Remote Programming will open a page. Enter the default password, e.g. 123456788, and click Login. You can see the running code. We usually use TCP connection and LoRa. The settings of LoRa are quite important. The settings of LoRa correspond one-to-one with those of the gateway LoRa. We have already set this up here, so users don't need to set it themselves to avoid subsequent problems. If you need to change the settings, for example, change it to 27, click Finish, then click Deploy, and it will take effect after clicking. Then we'll change it back. Click Close. The demonstration of the LoRa Gateway Platform operation is over. Registration on the Cloud Platform. First, open the Cloud Platform. The Cloud Platform supports switching between Chinese and English. First, register an account. For overseas customers, it is recommended to register with an email address. Now, let's enter the email address, password, password confirmation, and verification code. After entering all the information, the registration is successful, and you can log in directly. You can see the correct parameters of the sensor. Click Real-Time Curve to view parameter changes. This is the historical query. The historical data of the sensor can be queried, and you can also select a date to search. We understand your needs.